presentation, The Barnyard Musical. Yeah, musical. There you go, yes. Through a partnership between classroom teachers, students, and music teacher, Mr. Neal, who's phenomenal, students participated in a cross-curricular learning experience that combines music, literacy, research, creativity, and family engagement. Students explored a variety of farm animals through research activities, learning informational facts, and developing a deeper understanding of each animal featured in the program. Students applied their learning by composing both informational and opinion writing pieces connected to the animals and themes from the performance. In addition to the academic components, students and teachers worked together to create costumes, decorations, and props that brought the production to life. The program also emphasized movement, performance skills, and family involvement. Students learned and practiced dances as part of the musical experience and invited family members to join them on the floor during portions of the performance, creating meaningful opportunities for connection and celebration. The Barnyard Musical highlights this creative collaboration and joyful learning experience taking place at MKA while showcasing the importance of integrating the arts into student learning. Mr. Neal and Miss Stacy.
I'm just going to give a little more information while they are coming out and getting ready. So this will be something new for you all, something you've not seen before. Our students this year have really worked hard with increased rigor in instruction in literacy and in math. And I don't know, their parents know this, but you may not know that they are basically 6 right now, but they're going to be 24 tomorrow. So they're grown. And they are very confident in their skill set and ability, and they wanted to take the reins in a lot of their learning. And we thought, what a great way to let them do that and have autonomy in that with an authentic experience of music and dance and things that are interesting to them. So we pushed them out of their comfort zone. We threw a brand new music program idea at Mr. Neal at the last minute, and he kind of just handed over the reins to them, and it was amazing. So I'm really happy that they're going to get to talk to you about some of the things they did for that. One of the things they won't share, because Mr. Neal's a little humble, so I'm going to share on his behalf. This year, we have included our families as part of our program. So in this program, families got to come down to the floor and do some dancing. We do have some photos and videos we're not going to share because I am in some of those and they're just not, it's just not appropriate. So it was a fun time. So being able to get the whole family involved in student learning this year through programs has been a step in the right direction for MKA. So, all right, Mr. Neal, let's bring them on out.
All right.
All right, howdy folks. I'm Mr. Neal, a music teacher. A lot of you know me. That's why we're here. All right. Miss Stacy said all the good stuff. So how about I let some friends who really know what they're talking about come on over here, boys. Now, we're going to use the microphones that we're just a little more comfortable with. But our first picture. It's okay. So they made all the decorations for them, including hold it up for them so they can see it big and tall, including some of these really cool chickens they did. They did them in their classrooms. They worked so hard. The collaboration between all the teams, all of the team, and all the teachers. All right. Ready? All right. Tell me on.
Cameron.
Whose class are you in?
Miss Brown.
Now tell us all about that fancy shirt you're wearing.
So we took the shirts outside and we put the tie-dye in the bottom, and then we spread the tie-dye out on the shirt.
And wasn't that a lot of fun? It's pretty silly. All right. Now, we got to learn something too. So tell them about some of that learning we did. Let me do that a little bit. Tell them about how we learned about it.
Well,
We learned it. Oh, that's all, though. Do a little writing project together. Yeah, and we put that on, we sit it on Dojo. We put it on the bulletin boards in school too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, Mr. No gets a little nervous too. Takes a little practice. How about we show them our song? Yeah? Yeah. So each team, are the different animals, the cows, the pigs, the goats. Cows, pigs, goats, and the chickens. Our funky chickens, that's what I got their legs on. Now you see how Mr. Neal said there wasn't enough room for us to do the whole funky chicken dance?
Yeah.
And how I said we can't really do the cow's chorus line because we ain't got enough room? That's why we're gonna do the musical. All right, go ahead, Miss Dobson. Sing loud, boys and girls. Let's stand back here just a little bit. Turn it up. On the top. Yeah. You sing it. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's fun. We did our work. It's time for them to do their work. So ready? You're gonna follow Mr. Neal. Parents, get that out. We'll see you in just a second. Follow, follow.
Let's give a big hand for the Barnyard Musical. Yeah, yeah.
Good job. Mr. Neely.
Dobson, good job on the music there, honey.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Neely and I may need a Kleenex. We've got daughters graduating next week, and that.
Brought it home. Yep. Good job. Thank you all. Thank you. Good to see you.
We were hoping to keep the chickens.
Yeah, I want to see the funky chicken. Yeah, I was like, I see her pretty good. Right here.
Yeah. All right, y'all, I'm gonna do my best to get through this. I'm an emotional mom right now. You got it. I'm just gonna tell you. Here, have a drink of water. You're good. Okay. All right, we'll move right along here. Next up, we have a recognition, Mr. Neely.
All right, we have a surprise recognition tonight, and we're going to recognize our very own Mrs. Becky Coyle. You'd want to hear it for what? So Miss Coyle serves Division II in Madison County, and she was elected in November of 2000 and sworn in January of 2001, which puts her 25 years of service on Madison County Board of Education. Becky has served under 6 superintendents during her tenure. Glenn Marshall, Mike Cottle, Tommy Floyd, Elmer Thomas, David Gillum, and myself. You can rank those later if you want to. Don't do it now. Mrs. Coyle exhibits the true meaning of being a servant leader and continues her focus on people and purpose. What I feel are the main traits of being a servant leader is compassion, character, and competence. And Mrs. Coyle exemplifies every one of these. We're so proud to give this award to you for 25 tough years. This is some are good, some are bad, but what you have been through is second to none for the service of Madison County Schools and our Board of Education. So please, with me, give a big hand to Mrs. Becky Cole for her 25 years of service.
It's all been great.
Oh, all of us.
Yeah, here, flag.
Well, I don't need much to have to cry this evening. It is not encouraged.
She started when she was 15. It's all being good.
Doris. I'm sorry, those are my.
I think she may have the third longest tenure, maybe two people in Woodford County or Shelby County that has a longer tenure of being on the board. So kudos to you.
What's it take to beat them?
You got 5 more years.
And they're a
Well, I
lot
got
older.
2 more to go here, so. No, it's been, you said it's been some tough years, but really it's been all good because we've had some excellent board members to work with and superintendents.
Thank you.
I do enjoy every bit of it.
Can't thank her enough, so I'm gonna move on. Okay, next we have audience comments regarding agenda items. Do we have anything, Ms. Tammy? Next on the agenda is our consent agenda. These are the things that we see on a regular basis that are recurring from month to month. So the items to be approved in our consent agenda are the minutes of the April 16th board meeting, claims, superintendent personnel actions, leaves of absence, technology surplus, and the following out-of-state field trips. Madison Middle School 7th grade trip to Chicago, Illinois, November 7th through the 8th. Cottle Middle School archery trip to Daytona, Florida on June 17th through the 21st. Boonesboro Elementary on that same archery trip to Daytona Beach, June 17th through the 21st. Madison Central volleyball trip to Cincinnati and Mason, Ohio on July 20th through 24th. And Madison Central KEDC organized trip to Washington, D.C., July 6th through the 10th, and 8 shortened school day applications. Are there any questions on our consent agenda? Okay, I need a motion to approve.
Oops.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Rutherford, second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have our monthly reports. And with us tonight first is Miss Angie Wilcox. Excited to have Miss Angie. She's here to talk to us about MTSS and the school counseling services.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I'm going to start off with highlighting MTSS in Madison County Schools. So multi-tiered systems of support. When we started last school year, Principals Academy and then our district MTSS meetings, I thought we need to do a quick review. And our focus was on engagement, right? So I thought, well, let's do something that we'll remember MTSS. So I just randomly thought, let's do this with principals. And I did a clap. Mr. Neely's like, I know what you're about to do. And I did multi-tiered systems of support. And then that was our, oh, wait, what do those 3 stand for when we clap? Tiers of support, layers of support that we give students. In what areas? All areas. Because we're here for academics, we're here for social emotional, we're here for attendance, and we're here for behavior. So all of those things go under that umbrella. And then, of course, support. We're going to do whatever it takes to get them through. So I just kind of wanted to start with that because as, yearly I do this, I kind of just wanted thought about that and for you all too, right? And most of you back there are like, yeah, I've been there, done that. So I just kind of wanted to also talk about, we talk about engagement, but we can't get to engagement until we get those babies in our buildings, right? I thought about those little kindergartners. They were excited to go to school every day, I bet, to do that because that was engaging for them. So just tying that back in. Well, what do? We got to get the kids into our safe, welcoming learning environments. So once they're there, then we can layer on the support. So our monthly meetings at each school, it was neat to hear the conversations. We have schools that are doing, greetings at the door. They are now being intentional with the kids when they come in. Fist bumps, high five. Let's make our own little handshake. Some of the kids can't wait to get there first thing in the morning just so they can have that connection. So that kind of gives them that motivation, maybe that little extra support that they need. We have schools doing relationship building where they team up and they mentor. So let's say an adult takes a kid and says, you know what, I'm going to spend, we call it a 2x10 strategy, but I'm going to spend 2 minutes, 10 days with a kid and just say for 2 minutes, talk to me about something besides your homework. Like, let's just talk. And it builds that relationship. And I've seen schools use that 1 year and then you can't break the bond. So you no longer have to go do your 2x10. Yes, I do. I want to know how they're doing in the next grade, So I think that's really cool. So I just kind of wanted to highlight some of those things that we think about those tiers of support and engaging kids, but we got to get them there. And so those strategies have helped increase our attendance. Also kind of wanted to talk about thinking academics and goal setting. That's also within that. Once we get them there, we can layer on that support. So our schools are doing goal setting with kids, whether it be iReady, whether it be behavior charts they're using, and they're meeting with the kids individually and they're showing them what it feels like when they get to that goal that they've set. And it's so neat. One day I was at an elementary school and the kids were coming out and they couldn't wait to tell even the bus driver, I met my goal today. And so it's just cool to see. So I just kind of wanted to highlight some of those things that as schools meet monthly, they are looking at data and trying to problem solve and not just admire anymore. Problem solve. What are we going to do? And they're putting these things into place. So just wanted to share that. Great things going on. I also wanted to highlight our school counselors. They have a big role right now, right? They have a focus of academics, social emotional, college and career ready. Well, right now it's testing time. So they also are the building assessment coordinators and they have organized that so students can show what they have learned and show what they are capable of doing and meeting those goals that they've set. So just wanted to shout out to them for everything they do throughout the year, but that number one right now. And then testing is going to be completed and now they're focused on transition. Like how are we going to make it a smooth transition from that 4th grade to 5th grade or that 8th grade to high school. So counselors are now, stepping into that transition role and helping that do that. So just all those things that they do, I just thank you all too for supporting them. Our student support workers are also a big shout out to them for helping with the engagement of wanting kids to be there at school and those check-ins that they do. So
Ms. Wilcox, those monthly meetings that you're doing, who are you including in those? Who's at the table there with you that you're helping?
So at the MTSS meetings, each school has a representative that comes to the district MTSS meeting, right? But then monthly, each school has an MTSS meeting. So their goal is to have a teacher or from either grade level, or if they do content areas, each school does it a little different. If they are in content areas, then they'll send one from a content area. There is a school counselor on there, an administrator. There's FRCs are involved on that. Some schools even include their nurse on that, which I think is amazing because that also plays a part. But
I think that's great. It just lets you guys really collaborate and work together. I like that. You're doing a great job. Thank you, by the way.
thank you.
Anybody else have anything for Ms. Wilcox? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You and your whole
Thank
team.
you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is our construction report, and we have Mr. Jonathan Smith here with Branson Construction and update us on a couple things going on. How are you, sir?
Well, good evening. I want to update you, of course, first on Madison Middle. I guess one of the big things Madison Middle, when we've had concern, and I know others have, the grass is just not coming in at Madison Middle, but I met with the contractor last week and they are going to come back this fall. Of course, now it's not the best time to sow grass because it's not going to come up. So they have agreed they're going to come back this fall, redo that. There's some landscaping that's died throughout the year. Of course, that's part of warranty. So all those items will be complete this fall. Better time of year to do that, better chance of completing. So got a few punch list items, but Madison Middle's pretty well wrapped up. I want to go on to Waco. A lot of stuff going on at Waco. A lot of block being laid. A lot of steel going in there. There's several contractors, of course, electrician, plumber, all those guys are keeping up rough in as we're laying block and getting steel set. This is that front admin area. You can see a lot of that block is going up, the gym in the rear. Of course, we've got the deck and stuff on it. Should be roofing it here in a couple of weeks. We'll have roofing going on. This is one of the classroom wings. You can see the flashing over the top of the windows and down the seals. See the steel starting to go up on some of that classroom wing. You see that kind of in the background. This is the front, what you call the tornado shelter wing. You can see there's a lot of block, a lot of steel in that. That's steel right there that carries that mezzanine level above. All of that steel's getting set. This kind of overall picture, you see the gym, those two front columns are the main entry into the building. They've got that steel set. They'll start tying it back into the building as block goes up. This is one of those mechanical mezzanines. You can see there it was shored up. We've poured several of those concrete above. You can see the shoring in there. They put that in there till the concrete sets up, and then you'll see here one of these when it comes out. That's one of the hallways, and you can see that mechanical mezzanine above it. So coming right along, a lot of work going on. Like I said, a lot of steel, a lot of block going up. Take advantage of a lot of this good weather we had. Mickey, our superintendent, they're working some long days and long nights. So while we got good weather, a lot of contractors been out there. That's just kind of an overall shot looking towards the front of school. You can see the gym there to the right, the classroom area to the left. So everything's progressing really well out at Waco right now. Any questions on Waco?
No.
The geothermal, this is out at Whitehall. I think they're only like 16 more wells out of 48 to be drilled over at Whitehall. They're coming right along. They've got 2 rigs out there keeping drilling going. They're moving right along there. And obviously the tie-in back to the building will not be done until school's out because we got to go through that back parking lot there at Whitehall. But they're progressing really well there at Whitehall on the geothermal. Foley and Southern. This is inside of Foley Middle School. You can see the grid lights going back in. We're going to start putting seal in next week. All the HVAC, everything's done above. We're going to start dropping sprinkler heads this next week. Most all the classroom have grid lights in. You can see we've still got the covering on the floor. That'll be one of the last things we do when they get the ceilings, everything done. We'll pull all of it up, get the classrooms clean, work our way out on this phase in Foley. This is one of the computer labs. Again, you can see the grid in, lights in, everything above is done. Just another classroom. You can see the ceiling tile stacked there, ready to go in, start next week. This is the ag shop. That's a new unit, ductwork that's been put in the ag shop. They're keeping it running. They're kind of using that space as where we're storing some of this ductwork as we're putting it up. But you can see those new runs of ductwork up in the ag shop. So going really good at there. That next phase will be turned over hopefully here in a couple of weeks. And when you get out of school, it's like 26th to 27th, we're going to be there starting on the rest of the school because there's a lot to do this summer. So we're going to be right on the tails of last day for kids. We're starting that next day. Whitehall, we actually have a meeting next week, kind of a pre-demo planning meeting because same thing at Whitehall. Last day's 26th, we're starting the 27th. We're not gonna waste any time. We've got to get in there and get stuff covered so the demo guys can follow when we start taking stuff out so we can get new stuff back in. So maybe right along there, Whitehall too. Any questions on any projects?
No, thank you so very
All right.
much. Appreciate your work. Next, we have Mr. Tony Thomas with Clockfeller Samcar.
Good evening, everyone. Jonathan did a good job on covering several of those jobs, so I won't do any repeat there. So I will start with the former Madison Middle renovation, which is going to be the day treatment center. They got the hollow metal doors in front, and on the right there, you can see the new security camera, and they call it an AI phone, but they'll be able to see that inside. So somebody has to push the button before they get in. As you step into the stairwell, you're locked again. That's a card access you see on the left. Walk into the vestibule again, you're kind of stop right there, and that'll be the offices on the right and classrooms on the left. That's one of the nice new offices. You can see, paint and ceilings and lights and nice new flooring that's been put in there. So it's Northern has really done a good job bringing this along. That's the construction company, Northern Construction Company. Done a good job bringing that along. And that's the new door. It was the first time I saw the new doors, and they're beautiful doors. So I had to take a picture of it too. But again, you can see the flooring there. Comes a lot of cleanup to do as well now. But you go upstairs, a couple of classrooms upstairs. Again, the ceilings, the lights, the flooring, the painting, all looking really good. That's another one of the upstairs classrooms as well. The progress has been really good. Oh, and over at the cafeteria building, the only thing that's a part of this contract is the fire alarm. But of course, Madison County is doing quite a bit of work in there as well. So through my assessment, they'll be done. But we were shooting for June 1st so that, Madison County could take those facilities over. Don't see any problem with that. Any question about the day treatment? If not, you have a few agenda items later on your list regarding Kit Carson. Design development plans, BG2, BG3, you're pretty familiar with the standard forms and the process. So if we go into Kit Carson, this is just a master plan. It's about a 60,000 square foot school. About 35,000 of it was renovated about 11, 12 years ago. The other areas still needed renovation. If I zoom in on the front entry area, you can see the large area. That's the cafeteria. Hasn't been renovated since 2006. Down at the bottom is the office area. Hasn't been renovated a while as well. So the office area will get a little more than some of the other areas because it'll get new flooring, get painting, of course, some new ceilings and lighting. The scope for the whole school, of course, is complete HVAC replacement, exhaust fans, things of that nature. Wherever we can salvage LED lights that are existing, which is probably half the school, those will be reinstalled. But new ceilings everywhere. I do want to focus on, that's where we're zoomed in on the office area where it'll get a little bit more of a renovation. You see the MSD classroom. That is one area that's going to get altered a little bit. Again, this is design development, so nothing's finalized, but the room to the right was a resource room, and now we're calling it utility, but it will be, accessible from the MSD room, be an ADA accessible, wheelchair accessible toilet room, and then stove and sink and things of that nature for the students to learn, washer and dryer, things like that. So that is an alteration to this particular facility. Another section of the building is pretty much HVAC, lighting, ceiling, things of that nature. I am going to zoom in on a couple of the restrooms because we are replacing some plumbing fixtures in this area, just so that you know there's a little bit of plumbing going on as well. Two of the classrooms, you can see where I have red notes about new cubbies and shelves. A couple of the classrooms will get some cubbies and shelves that you've seen in all the Kit Carson, Whitehall, Daniel Boone, Silver Creek. If you're just a reminder, that's what they look like. They were computer labs before, and of course, the computer labs have changed because everybody's got a Chromebook now. Every room's a computer lab now. So they'll get the cubbies and the shelves, and there's the shelves along the wall, which are so important in elementary schools. So a couple of classrooms with that. This is the back section that's 30 plus years old that hasn't been renovated at all. So its old HVAC system will be completely replaced. Again, ceilings, all new lighting, and, painting the corridors, a few lockers. I believe that's the 5th grade wing. So they want some lockers in the corridors instead of into the classrooms. And that is pretty much the design development plans for Kit Carson. Your BG2 reflects pretty much what I just went over. The BG3 should match your BG1, which is also what you're going to approve later, which is a $5.5 million construction cost. So that's the BG2 and the BG3.
And this is our next geothermal HVAC project.
Yes.
That's what.
And there will also be, that's a good point, the geothermal project that you bid will also bring wells to this facility as well in the back and tie into a whole new geothermal system.
Any questions for Mr. Thomas? Thank you.
Thank you.
Much.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, next we have Mr. Mark Woods with our monthly financial report. And Mark's also going to give us a little Finance 101 class.
Good evening. How are you all tonight? All right, we will get started with our bank reconciliation. As of April 30th, the district ended with a reconciled balance of $120,569,363.24. You can see there, that's actually down from this time last year. We've just seen all the construction projects that we're pouring the money into. You get your bond money up front. You put your construction funds into it up front, and then you spend those down as the projects go. So that makes sense that we would be down. Of the reconciled balance, we have $36,999,434.73 in investments. Those rates range from 3.228 to 4%. We've gotten some of those up. I'm working with another bank. I'm trying to get all the accounts set up so that we'll be able to put some more of our funds in there. We take our money, we invest it as it comes in because we get a lot of it up front. We invest it so that it times out and we get our cash flow as we need it, especially as we head into the summer months and the months that we don't receive any tax funds. So we have it timed to where it will come due. We will get those funds in our bank account to be able to use for operating costs during those months. In addition, you also have the revenue expense report for April, and you have the balance sheet. And I just wanted to take a minute to kind of go into the balance sheet because that's a wealth of knowledge that you all are presented with each month. So given recent news, we've all seen it. Many districts around the nation are dealing with financial problems. So especially in our state, we're seeing it. And it seems like the more and more I talk to people, they're starting to have concerns as they move forward. We also have had some recent media posts about our own district. So I felt it might be important to discuss this a little further with the board. You know, it's my responsibility to provide factual data to this board. I do that each and every month. I provide that data straight from our software. No manipulation. It is straight from our software. You get those copies of those reports. There have been other school districts that don't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to provide you exactly what it is that I'm looking at every month. You know, I chose this profession because I do like numbers, as you can imagine, and numbers are finite. Numbers themselves do not lie. So numbers can be manipulated for personal agendas, but by themselves, they are reliable. The numbers that we're going to discuss from the balance sheet, those numbers have been audited by our auditors. That report was provided to you just a couple months ago. Financial presentation is one of the main parts of an audit. They have to attest that I am in compliance with GAAP. So you do have those numbers in front of you.
We just approved those last month.
Yes. No, that was to approve the new auditor from the RFP. That was in January.
Yes.
I think it was at the January meeting that our independent auditors came and presented to the board. Sorry about that. So it's been stated that our general fund balance for fiscal year 25 of $51,163,353.62, excuse me, was 52% of our budget. That number is not accurate. For FY25, we had a total budget of $192,568,865.20. That general fund balance is only 26.56%. So you can see there is a disparity in that number. If you only compare the fund balance against our general fund budget, the general fund budget was $143,224,717.01. That's 35.72% of the general fund budget. Now, keep in mind, the general fund is not independent of the other funds. Sometimes KDE pushes that, but that is not accurate. If we have problems in other funds, the general fund has to pick up. For example, if food service were to run a shortage, the general fund is required under KRS to pick up that shortage. We have to have enough funds in the general fund to take care of any other fund. If a grant source failed or any other thing, we would have to make those commitments out of the general fund. So when you look at it, you do have to look at the entire budget, not just the general fund. You take the general fund balance against the entire budget. So I would like to take a look at the actual fund balance itself. So the breakdown of the fund balance. You look at that number, it seems like a large number. However, not all that money is available for us to use at this time. $3,268,506 is SBDM carryover. That belongs to the schools. We do not have the right to use that money. We carry it over and the schools use that. It was allotted to them. They use that each year to take care of their operations in their school. $773,834.18, sick leave payable. That is a required by GASB 54 and KRS 157.420. It is a required statement on our financials. What it represents is half the liability for sick leave payouts for anybody with greater than 25 years of service. It is half of that liability. The true payout could be, as you can tell, would be about $1.4 million. We're only allowed to put half of that on our books. Future construction, $12,291,867.21. We have that money back to help with the geothermal projects. We went into this knowing that KDE was not going to let us use any of our funding up front. They told us because it had not met the timeline that we would have to fund that. Those funds are starting to go out. You have a bond sale that you approved during the finance corp. Part of the BG1 you're going to look at later has money out of these construction funds that are put back. Committed, year-end POs, $1,545,180.11. Those are obligations that our schools made by year end that had not been paid yet. Committed funds. So these are funds that the board has committed back to take care of operational needs as we see fit. Some of the examples are maintenance fleet. We have money to help us if we have a bus go down. We have money to take care of athletic facilities. Those have to be repaired. We have 3 athletic facilities that have turf. Each time you replace the turf, it costs about $600,000. It's expensive. You have to put that money back, and you have to have money back in a savings to be able to cover those things in the future. You cannot rely just on your current year money. Athletic facilities, we are not allowed to use our restricted funds on. So those are examples of things that are in there. Just this year, we have had, and you will see a PO coming in for it and requesting to approve the purchase for bus lifts. That's $470,000. This money, part of this money we've put back is to take care of things like that. Bus lifts are expensive. We're maintaining safety in our bus garages. We had a transformer at the Phillips building that we walked in one morning, no power, everything's gone. Come to find out we had a transformer blow. We managed to find it at a good deal, but that turned out to be a $50,000 fix. You have to have money put back to take care of those needs. You can't rely on just your current operating money for the year. We have some technology needs in our elementary schools. We're going to be taking care of those. That PO you will be seeing coming to you. We are going to be taking care of those. We have these funds put back to take care of that. That is all that's in the committed funds. We also, as we went into it, we knew that we wanted to do some raises prior years, and we knew it would take a while for our taxes to catch up. We put a little bit of money back during COVID into that fund so that we could have time to catch up. Those funds are being brought in. I've shown that to you on the budget. They're coming in each year so that we have funds to help sustain the raises we've done in the past. Unassigned, which is the contingency, $11.9 million. That makes up the $51 million total. So let's talk about the contingency. Mr. Neely, I believe you were in a superintendent's meeting recently where KDE is recommending that schools carry 3 months of payroll in their contingency. We have $11.9 million. It takes $3.829 million to run one payroll. We have 3 payrolls, not 3 months. We would have to double our contingency in order to have 3 months. So as you can see, we are not even meeting what KDE is now recommending. We would have to double that number. I have worked diligently with this board over the past couple of years to get that number up because at one point we had $5 million in our contingency. We need that contingency in case funds are stopped. We had a near stoppage last year with the Fed. We would not have gotten any money in on any of our federal funds, which includes food service. We would have had to have continued feeding kids, and we want to feed kids. But we would have to have funded that each month until the Fed opened back up. We can run close to $40,000 a month in reimbursements. It would cut into it quickly. So that's why you have a contingency setback. Now, in the social media post, it did state that MCEA would be asking for pay increases. The numbers that were in that post did not reflect the total cost to the district. As proposed, the increases will cost the district $9.15 million when coupled with the step raises that they are receiving for the year and the required fringe benefits, FICA, Medicare, unemployment, work comp, TRS, and CERS. This is not sustainable over time. Our district cannot sustain that.
And that's per year, correct?
That is per year. When you make commitments to payroll, it is perpetual. It is from there on each year. Pay increases have to be funded out of current revenues because they are perpetual in nature. You can't fund increases on any savings that will be gone after one use and do not replenish. The current proposal will deplete the contingency and the committed funds in 3 years. We would be facing the same issues as Fayette County is currently facing. That's something that we have to take very seriously. I mentioned we'd have to be able to fund raises out of current revenues. School districts only have 2 main sources for the general fund, SEEK and local taxes. House Bill 500 was the budget bill that passed during this current legislative session for this biennium. The bill contained a provision that will reduce SEEK funding for Madison County only by $2.9 million over the biennium. So over the next 2 years, we will lose $2.9 million in SEEK. This provision, as I said, only affects Madison County. I'll discuss that more when we do the tentative budget that is scheduled for next week with the board. Reductions in SEEK have to be made up with local tax dollars. However, it's not a dollar for dollar. When you have a loss of $1 in SEEK, the tax money coming in is not dollar for dollar. For every dollar of SEEK that we lose, we replace it with 80.8 cents. That's due to 17.7 cents going to fund the facilities due to our 3 nickel taxes and 1.5 cents going to the Madison County Sheriff Department for collecting our taxes. We are required by law to do that. We don't have a choice in it. Given the statutes that limit our local taxes, it becomes difficult to offset the deficit in 1 year with our local taxes. Finally, I want to share 3 numbers with you that are important to me. 2,338. It's the total number of people employed by Madison County Board of Education. Every financial decision that I make and that I give to the board is with the care of their lives in my hands. I do not take that lightly. 11,500. That's the total number of students enrolled in Madison County. On my worst days, when I don't think I can find a way to make it happen, I think about, and you saw those kids up here today, those smiling faces, those kids that are eager to learn. I think about those faces. I know that my work and the work that my team does affects each and every one of those kids. We want success for them. We want success for their lives. We make decisions to ensure that Madison County Schools is going to be here to support them for years to come. Long-term decisions, projecting out over multiple years to see what is viable for Madison County Schools. And finally, 110 million. We've seen that number in the news recently. That's a number of reasons that I want to continue to be Madison County. We're a strong district. We are a great district, and I don't want to be Fayette County in the future. That is my finance report. I will take any questions you may have.
You gave us some excellent information, a lot of extra details tonight. But I understand why, that we need to know it all. Again, because we do know this, you have presented it to us several times, but again, tonight, just to recap on what is in there, just because of what's been said. But I appreciate you, Mark. I do trust in what you're giving us.
Thank you.
I think we say it every time. The transparency that you and your department provide for us is unmatched, I believe, in this state. The Munis reports, I can see if somebody gets reimbursed for $10 for gas. That's how granular our report is every month. There's no cobbled report that's presented to us. We have the entire thing. We have it at least a week in advance that we look at everything. And the transparency is what you all have done and done so well. And we appreciate that.
I think we do the best job we can with what we have to work with.
Yes, we do.
And I, like you, do not want to be like our neighbors to the north.
It goes back to, I know we've had districts around us that have given large raises over the years, last couple of years. Then all of a sudden this year when diesel went up, for like, I don't know how we're going to afford diesel for school buses. Stretching yourself too thin. And we're not going to do that here. We have to make sure we can operate each and every day, no matter what happens. If we lose a transformer, we can fix it and kids go to school. If diesel goes up, we buy diesel. We don't worry about it. You know, whatever happens, we've got the contingency funds to take care of any catastrophe that might happen in Madison County. And that's what it's about.
Well, I think we're all appreciative, and it's sad to know that we're going to see the loss in our seat funding. So we're appreciative that you keep us updated on all of those numbers and how disappointing that number really is.
And very unexpected.
Yes.
It was. It was a late add to the House bill. They did spread it over 2 years. It originally was going to be all in this school year. In fact, when I contacted the financial division at KDE, I contacted the head of their division, Che Ritter, and spoke with him, and he was unaware that that was even going into the bill. So he began trying to do some digging, but we were trying to watch that up front, and you know that's a big hit to our school district.
Yes. All right. Anybody have anything else for Mr. Woods?
I don't know how smaller districts do it, because
Yeah,
the
I
loss
don't
of that is, theirs won't be as big, obviously, but it's still tremendous.
Well, in comparison, it's just as big, you know.
Right.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve our monthly financial reports as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor? Next is to approve the fiscal year 27 site-based allocations and staffing positions. I know we've all had a chance to look those over. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Woods?
I appreciate all the hard work that's you and Mr. Neely and everybody else put into these allocations this year and keeping us where we need to be and making sure we got the right people in the right positions.
Well, and sitting down with us and going over individually with us
Yeah.
so that we understand it and the terms of what's happening.
And it's very much a team effort. We sit down with all the schools. We have 2 meetings with them. And it is a team effort. We talk about the needs of the school. And as you can see, you not only do you have what includes their Section 6 funding at this, as we know it at this time for next year, it includes the dollars that the district is committing based on the average teacher salary for each of the schools. And it includes the additional positions that are being created through the allocation process.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the fiscal year 27 site-based allocations and staffing positions created by allocations, special ed caseloads, and Section 7 requests?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coyle. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Uh,
Next on the agenda is to approve our finance auditor contract. I know we talked about this last meeting as well, but can I get, do we have any questions? We all good? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the contract for our finance auditors, Patrick and Associates?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Burford. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
I-
Aye. Next on the agenda is to approve our revised BG1 for our geothermal project that's going on. Anybody have any questions on that?
I think this is the one that, so post bid, we're getting ready for the bond sale. So this should be your geothermal that includes the Foley Southern and the Whitehall. We're packaging all that together, and that's what will be sold during the bond sale.
And that work is already commenced. We're just getting the bills. All right, can we have a motion to approve the revised BG1 for our geothermal and HVAC projects?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second by Ms. Burford. All those in favor? So next on the agenda in relation to that item, bear with me again. Here's another resolution authorizing the Madison County School District Finance Corporation to issue and lease our revenue bonds. To adopt a resolution of the Board of Education of the Madison County School Board in Richmond, Kentucky, authorizing and approving the execution of a contract, lease, and option with the Madison County School District Finance Corp. And any further necessary instruments, approving the execution of continuing disclosure procedures and the execution of tax compliance procedures, approving certain architects and engineer plans for the construction of certain school building projects, and approving the plan of financing for the cost of said project. Can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next on the agenda is to approve the revised pay date schedule for fiscal year 26. Anything on this?
This is just to go where the checks will be given all throughout the year.
So this
Instead of
would
one lump sum.
change the process to be similar to what we ran last year, to where the only month they would not receive 2 checks would be the month of July. They would receive 2 checks right at the end of June to cover those months. July, we have too much closeout to do and we can't issue any checks. Then they would again receive an August 1, August 16th, September 1 pay instead of receiving all their checks by June 30th. Now, employees would have the option to request to receive it the old way by June 30th. All 5 checks that they would normally, if they were 5 checks or whatever variance we have, because we have different levels in there. They do have that option to request that. Just so the board knows and anybody else knows, we still have to process everything by June 30th. Just because we pay on different dates does not mean that we get the month of June off from what we always have to do. We have to process the payroll, the retirement, the health insurance, everything. All it means is that the files are sent to the banks at different times, and they're held as basically issued checks and sent out in enough time for it to be processed.
So you're saying they get 2 checks all throughout the year, except for the month of July, they'll get 1 lump sum check?
They will get the money to cover the month of July. They will get by
In
June
June.
30th, and they'll get 2 pays that on them will say July 1 and July 16th, but they will actually receive those in their bank account
Same time.
because we can't. With all the year-end processing, there's conversion that has to happen in Munis to be able to roll people over to the new year. And when that happens, we have to have people out. And then I also have to close down the books for the year. And I have to lock out everybody district-wide out of our system. And I'm the only one allowed in it at that time. And it takes a full day to do a closeout.
The other option was the 5.
The other option was the way, which is what was approved earlier this year, and which is what we had been done all the way up until last school year. And for a 187-day teacher, they would receive 5 checks by June 30th that would cover them for that period from July until they get their first check on September 16th.
And I think there was a survey done, and most folks chose to do what we're going to do today, is spread it out.
Yeah.
So,
I think
That's
this
what I've been
allows
hearing too.
people to, yeah.
That's what I've been hearing
Yeah.
throughout.
Is this
Right.
what we're
Would
doing
rather
now?
have.
mhm.
Any other questions for Mr. Woods? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the revised pay date schedule for fiscal year 2026?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Burford. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you
You're
so very
welcome.
much.
Okay.
Thank you, Maura.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, next on our agenda is, I think we have Mr. David Livingston with us to talk about our insurance. Hello, sir.
Good evening. How are you all?
Good.
Good to
How are
see
you?
you.
Good. Good to see you all as well. I guess starting out like we always do, we kind of talk about the marketplace. And one thing that the insurance marketplace, there's still really only 3 carriers that are, or 4 riding in the state for this past year for 25-26. And a couple of those have now said they're not taking any new business for 26-27. And one of them, Liberty Mutual, has started non-renewing some districts around the state. And so the reason that is because for about the last 5 years, for every dollar that an insurance company has collected, they have paid out $1.35 in claims. And that all stems from the fact that the state of Kentucky does not have tort limits or damage caps, which means what may pay out in Tennessee may pay out $250,000, $500,000, or $700,000 as a cap. In Kentucky, it pays out in millions. Law firms are now beginning, the large ones we see advertising all the time, are now beginning to focus on Kentucky and on school districts, cities, counties, governmental entities. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, they're viewing governmental entities as bottomless pits of money due to the fact that you're never going to run out of money because you can always raise taxes. And that's the way they look at it. So we're actually working on some legislation right now to where these schools could be recognized as the Commonwealth and all the public universities are recognized. The Commonwealth of Kentucky and all the public universities have damage caps. And their damage caps, when there's a claim, usually they can claim full immunity. But if there is something that has to be paid, it goes to the Claims Commission. And the maximum it pays is $250,000 for an individual and $400,000 per incident. So over the last 5 years, if those kinds of caps would have been in place for school districts in Kentucky, instead of having a 135% loss ratio, the loss ratio would have been around 65%. which means we wouldn't have been seeing these double-digit increases in insurance that we've been seeing for the last 5 years. So we have a bill that's been drafted. It's been shared with the legislators. We actually shared it this past session, but you all are probably aware that they were trying to get some things done from a litigation reform process with the Chamber of Commerce. We only want this passed for school districts because at the end of the day, it's all taxpayer dollars. And for every dollar you have to pay for insurance or deductibles, that's another dollar out of your general fund. So if we can get that, to get those caps in place, it would see tremendous progress in insurance. It would drive more competition into the marketplace. And at the end of the day, fewer claims and fewer payouts, or lesser payouts, and would allow for reductions in insurance premiums. So that's what's been kind of going on the last year.
And to David's point, public school districts are the only municipality that are not subject to that limitation.
Is Liberty Mutual getting out of just big districts or school business altogether?
No, they're not getting out of school business altogether, but they're
Just the larger districts.
mainly larger districts where they're seeing
A lot of cases.
a lot of opportunity for claims. And with the, there have been claims around the state that have paid out anywhere from, I know of probably 10 or 12 that paid out 3 million. And I know of one in the state that's paid out 11 million this last year. So it's very vital that if we're able to get this going, we're going to be working with, hopefully be able to have support from KSBA, the Kentucky School Boards Association, and the Superintendents Association to help us maybe try to push this across the finish line next year. Because it is taxpayer dollars at the end of the day, and that's what we want to do and try to save. So the other thing is, when we finished up with renewals last year with the school districts that we work with, we realized that we might be running out of markets in the state of Kentucky with what's going on. So we began reaching across the marketplace, across the U.S., and starting to talk to other brokers and carriers to see what's going on, to see if they would have any interest in coming into Kentucky. We normally don't talk about Options Insurance Group, but we're the 42nd largest in the nation. So we have a broad reach and some really good leverage in being able to talk to carriers and getting them to be interested in the state of Kentucky. We began speaking with some folks that work for Obsidian Insurance back in August of last year. Have been going through the process and analyzing all the data from all the schools we work with, which is a little over 80 school districts. And in December, they said, let's do it. And then in late January or so, we finally made the final commitment for them to write business in the state. They write schools in 5 other states. They also do cities and counties in the other states. They only do public entities. They don't do manufacturers or contractors or anything like that. So they're an A- rated company. If you know, Kimi is an A- rated company. The reason they're A- is because they focus in one area of business. If they spread out their wings and did multiple areas of business across the United States, then they would be rated higher, but that's what puts them in that category. So that's what we've brought to the board tonight, is to present Obsidian and also bring you your Kimi renewal. On Obsidian, it's about a 4.9% increase over the expire, which, we've been seeing double-digit increases the last 4 or 5 years. There are a couple things on here. There is cyber into the policy, and it has a $2,500 deductible. The wind hail deductible, with most carriers right now, it's either per location, which means per address, or it's either per building. So it's $100,000 per location, or it's $100,000 per building. Obsidian, when we were working through developing the program, the insurance program through them, they agreed to do the wind hail deductible per occurrence. So if we have a huge windstorm or a huge hailstorm and it affects 4 locations, you have 1 deductible.
That's amazing.
Otherwise, you would have had 4 different deductibles.
And we've had that the last 3 years.
Yes, yes. And knock on wood, we don't have to go there, but it's very important that because people don't realize deductibles are part of your insurance cost and it's part of your total cost of risk. So as we did this, we were trying to figure out how do we save you money, not, how do we do it best at the beginning of the policy period? But if you have those kind of losses on property throughout the year, how do we save you money in that aspect that you weren't intending to spend on claims? Your property increase, which is due to KDE mainly, was a 2.5% increase on the total value. So out of that 4.9%, 2.5% of that is basically your property increase. Any questions on the Obsidian? I know you all have had an opportunity to see everything, so.
You pay over $2 million, almost 3 for your insurance.
Mhm.
2% is pretty good, or 4%.
4%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4.
I was afraid we were going to be double digits.
It's still high. It's great.
Yeah, and that's, when you talk about the premium, you're also talking about $859 million in property. So the next couple of years, when you bring on Madison Middle into that number and anything else that you bring on, and then the KDE rate increases on the per square foot rate, you're going to be approaching $1 billion in property very soon.
Mhm.
Any questions on that one? Okay. Workers' compensation, basically the role of that is your experience mod, which we've talked about each year, has increased from a 0.97 to a 1.09. I know that Elizabeth has sent out, who does our risk management and loss control for folks that may be watching or in the audience. She comes in and does training for fleet, for maintenance custodial, for food service, and to help try to keep down workplace injuries. And because it's very important for us, it's not for the staff to be able to go home safe at night. And so she just sent out an email last week, I believe, and we're starting to schedule for the summer. So we're working with staff to get that scheduled and do some training for your folks here in the district.
That used to be our biggest worry several years ago was work comp, but through HR and Houchins and Elizabeth's work, we really got that down. It was
it's up
really
a little bit
years
this
ago.
year, but you've had a couple of larger pops
Yep.
from an injury standpoint that have driven that. So you know that every 3 years is when it changes, or it changes every year based on the prior 3 years. So we'll be looking at the experience mod to start trying to figure out what's going to happen with it next year, to be able to share that with you and show you what's going to happen for 27, 28.
Well, I appreciate your work. This is very welcoming news. I was scared to death.
Thank you.
I know too much. I was really worried. So this is really good. I know it's a lot, but it's so much better than what I was expecting. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the continuation purchase of the insurance package with Houchins Insurance Group for liability, property, workers' comp, fleet, umbrella, and pollution as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you so
it.
much for your work. We appreciate it. Up next on the agenda is a change order number 3 for Waco Elementary. Do we have any questions on this? We need to approve a change order number 3 for the Allen Company for Waco in the amount of $11,280. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Burford. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is change order 5 for Waco Elementary to Bransom Construction in the amount of $212.06. You have any questions? Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coyle and a second by Mr. Rutherford. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is to approve the BG1 for the HVAC renovation project at Kit Carson. Tony talked a little bit to us about that. This is our next geothermal project. Any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve that BG1 for the Kit Carson HVAC renovation project?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Burford. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next on the agenda is to approve a BG2 and a BG3 and design development for the HVAC renovation project at Kit Carson.
It's all the same thing, just the different BGs.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford, second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is to approve the renewal of the NextPath education software. I know Mr. Ray is here if anybody has any questions on this. Mr.
Mr. Ray,
Ray,
tell us a little bit about
will you
next
tell
step.
us what this is? This is a pretty big expense, just so everybody knows what we're talking about.
Mr. Case, good to be here this evening. So he gave me some notes to share with you all
We appreciate
on
it.
that. We moved to NextPath. NextPath is just a better product and costs less than we were using prior. It's where we warehouse all of our data, the assessment, behavior, and attendance for teachers with reading. It's going to be math plans next year. That's where that is warehoused at. Tracking interventions and progress monitoring. All of our assessment data is in there. It helps make decisions, look at decisions as far as next steps. From MTSS, I should have Ms. Wilcox speak about this because that data they reference that they utilize, that's taken from this. One of the features that I really like about it, it has AI analysis on the side. So we'll go ahead and break down all that data and kind of give you recommendations, questions to consider, and things like that. So it's our data warehouse where everything kind of feeds into from all the different areas. One of the other things that it does is auto notifications. So we can have it set where we'll go ahead and notify principals once students go over a certain threshold in attendance. For grades, it will also notify if they kind of, kids are going below a certain level for grades. And that way they know what steps to take and try and intervene in helping our students.
So our teachers are pleased with this program. Yeah, okay. All right, do we have any other questions, Mr. Ray? All right, can I get a motion to approve the renewal of the NextPath education for the 26-27 school year in the amount of $54,735?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coyle. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is to declare our bus surplus. I know we've all seen that. Any questions? Can I get a motion to declare the bus surplus, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock. May I get a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Burford. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is to approve the, if I say this right, Leswego Corporation,
Yes.
the Norman Story and Associates purchase. These are for the new bus lifts that we need.
Yep, that's the Richmond Bus Garage. We have 2 bus lifts that currently don't work.
Danger.
That
Dangerous.
is very
Danger.
dangerous. Yeah.
So those are 2 bays that they can't work on buses, and it's been an ongoing issue. So they need to be fixed, and so we're going to get new ones. So they got quotes, and this was the best quote they got returned.
Any other questions? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the Norman Story and Associates purchase order in the amount of $474,472?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is to approve the Madison Central Chromebook purchase. 114 Chromebooks from CDW for $39,786. They'll be paid with their KITS funding. Any questions? All right. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is our Encore Technologies purchase. These are the whiteboards, if I remember.
In the elementaries, yes.
Yeah, whiteboards in the elementary. This is for 8 elementary schools. MKA already has this. Boonesboro and Waco were all done, or Waco's being done, but Boonesboro was done as part of their new construction. So this would be for the remaining elementary schools to get the nice whiteboards everybody likes.
Correct.
Do we have any questions?
No, I'm just glad we're able to provide this. Yeah.
Yes.
I know they like it, at least from what I've heard.
Okay. All right. May I get a motion to approve the Encore Technologies purchase in the amount of $597,470.72?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coyle. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is to approve the purchase of Commonwealth Food Service equipment at Silver Creek Elementary. Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the purchase of 2 ovens for Silver Creek Elementary from Commonwealth Food Service in the amount of $39,500?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Burford. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Next is to approve our KEDC membership. Any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve the 26-27 membership of the Kentucky Education Development Corporation?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is to revise our May meeting. We're wanting to move our meeting from the 28th to next Thursday, the 21st at 6 o'clock. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Burford. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
And next we have Mr. Ben Wilcox. We're going to talk about our new SRO positions for our new police force.
Thank you very much. And I've been given a time limit, so I will try to keep to that, I promise. Just a little bit about myself. If people don't know me, my name is Ben Wilcox. I've been hired as the police chief for the Madison County Schools Police Department. I grew up here in Madison County. I graduated from the Round School, Berea Community, went to school at East Kentucky University, got a degree in police administration, moved to Montgomery County. After starting as a deputy sheriff, the Columbine incident happened and I was made an SRO. I was an SRO for 6 years, married a beautiful lady from Estill County, brought her back to Madison, started at the police academy, and in 2019, I was appointed the state school security marshal. I presented you all at that position several times throughout my career there. With that being said, I've watched the evolution of law enforcement in schools. I've watched the evolution of SROs. And what we're doing here in Madison County is going to be phenomenal because we're putting more police officers with more kids. We are, in 2019, when I started the marshal's office, there was 468 SROs and there were 11 school-based law enforcement agencies. They weren't really even school-based law enforcement agencies. That didn't come around until 2022 when HB 63 gave us the ability to build our own police department at a school system. All the other districts that had what they called SLEOs, it's a long story, moved over to that. We are the 45th district in the state to start our own police department. We didn't stay the newest long. McGoffin County started theirs 2 weeks ago. So it is a process that's going on in our state, and it's just becoming phenomenal as we can build for our kids. Now, there's a lot to do. All the stuff that you see police officers driving around and wearing and having, we've got to come up with. And so it's going to be a hard process and a quick process. And I can guarantee you that there's no grass growing underneath my feet. We're going to make this happen. Cars, guns, equipment, tasers, everything else is nothing compared to the most important thing that we need to get, and that's what? Our officers. And I am so excited because so many folks have reached out to me, officers that I know, officers that I work with, officers I don't know, that are very, very interested in coming and working here at Madison County. So I have no problem with filling some spots that we're going to have here very soon. I've got some very excited schools as well that are ready to have officers in their schools. Now, I'm very familiar with the School Safety and Resiliency Act. That's what started the SRO program here in the state, the training that was involved in, of course, my office and the marshal's office. It's a 47-page document, but there's one line in that 47 pages that is actually a law that says every student in the state of Kentucky is to have a trusted adult. Now, I don't know how we count that. I don't know how you measure that. But what you do is you put trusted adults in schools and you put them with kids. And that's what we're going to be doing with trained professionals that are trained to take care of a critical incident. And that's what makes me so happy, because these guys and gals that are coming in as SROs are there for one thing only, and that's protection of kids and staff. And they're going to spend a whole lot of time working with those kids. Now, another thing about relationships, we're starting a new police department, but we need help. The last 4 weeks, I've met with every police agency in the county. I've met with county officials. I want to make sure they know where we stand as a police agency. And I had a very hard question asked me by a chief of police that said, are you guys just going to be a bunch of security guards, or are you going to be the police? We're going to be the police. We're going to work our own cases. I said, I'll call you if I need you. But that's a force multiplier here in Madison County of how many officers we end up getting to put into our schools. So that being said, we're still keeping our relationships, because our departments that have worked in our schools already have relationships with those kids as well. I'm super excited, though. I have a pretty good network here in the state, and with starting a new department, it's very expensive. So a lot of times you reach out for help, and that's what we've been doing for the last month. And I just got to give a shout out to Independence PD, Catlettsburg PD, Louisville PD, Montgomery County or Madison County Sheriff's Office, Glasgow PD, Boone County Sheriff's Office, Burnside, Kentucky Sheriff's Association, the Kentucky Association of Chiefs of Police. All those agencies has either promised or already given a surplus to start our agency. And that's either at very, very low cost to us, or just say, hey, come pick it up, it's yours.
Wow.
So the fact that we can reach out, and hopefully someday we'll be able to do the same thing for another agency starting up. But that just is phenomenal for the state of Kentucky. So I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to do this. I am super, super excited. I love that I failed at retirement, because I just really like to do this. And I will say, within my 27 years of law enforcement, I spent 8 months as a focus and finish teacher at Madison Southern. That's what I left to come to here. And actually, it was very hard to leave my kids. Never thought in 27 years of law enforcement I had that bathroom duty, but that was definitely an experience that I will treasure. But thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions for us?
I think we're all very excited to have you.
We are excited.
And
Thank you
not
so
only
very
you,
much.
but the wealth of the connections that you have around the state that is going to put us, I think, above and beyond everybody else starting out there on police department.
I appreciate that.
And we have some wonderful teachers here in our building right now. So I just want to make sure and know that I want to make sure that you continue to educate them and just so that they know what's going on, and preparedness for them as well.
Absolutely.
Continuing education.
We're
I
working
guess.
on a lot of training for
Right.
the summer. We're going to be doing a lot with our teachers, a lot with our staff. And I'm
Right.
very, very excited about that.
That's good.
We're excited too.
Yes,
We're so
we are.
thrilled to have you.
Yes,
Thank you so very much.
very
Appreciate it.
thankful.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
All right.
You talked really fast.
You had 11 seconds left. Good work.
You can come every single month. All right, let's,
This might be the first meeting we haven't had a policeman here, right? But I guess you're
That's what he
here.
is.
So,
He-
yeah,
it's-
I was gonna say, you're here.
We've got one here.
Oh, I didn't see.
all right, so we need to create and ratify 19 SRO, school resource officer positions, approve their job description, and approve the salary schedule. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Frog. All those in favor?
Hi.
Thank you. And that's for the 26-27 school year, by the way. Next is to create and ratify 2 teaching positions at Whitehall Elementary that will be paid with school funds. And this is for their 26-27 school year.
Mhm.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford, second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor? Next is to create and ratify a general aid position at Kirksville Elementary for the 26-27 school year to be paid with school funds. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Burford. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I'm sorry, Vincent. Oh, yeah, sorry. Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, to approve the 26-27 contract for therapy services with hands-on therapy. Any questions? This is just every year thing.
This is, yeah.
All right, can I get a motion?
So moved.
All right, motion by Ms. Coyle. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All those in favor?
Uh,
Next is to approve our occupational therapist contract. This contract will run August 10th through June the 1st of 2027. It's a 146-day contract.
Yes.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the occupational therapist services contract with Brittany LaGrange?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Burford. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is to approve the 26-27 agreement for orientation and mobility services for our students with visual impairment and authorizing Tracy French as provider for those services. Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And next we have our superintendent's report.
Okay, we got a building full again in front of us, and I know they're wore out because the last couple of weeks, they've been on it with the testing and all the things so I want to thank all of our teachers and administrators and staff, classified and certified, and all our students and parents for the last 2 weeks. And we focus in on last 2 weeks, but for the 164 days that we've been in school, which we still have 6 more, but I want to thank them for that. Also, our schools and districts, we celebrated Teacher Appreciation last week. We want to, again, reiterate appreciation for all of our staff members for what they do, both classified and certified, for their continued hard work and dedication to our students of Madison County. And like we said earlier, it's coming hard, but we have graduation next Friday and Saturday. Madison Central on Friday night, Madison Southern Saturday morning. It will be here before you know it. So we get a lot of folks that are excited to be at EKU Friday night and Saturday morning for a culmination of their school experience, which we're all excited to be there and be a part of it. Next week, we've still got sports going on. We got baseball and softball district play. We'll start next week, and region after that. Hopefully, some of our schools will be playing on into June. So good luck to all of our students as they continue their quest to reach regional and state playoff action. So that is my superintendent report.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Do you have any comments from the board?
No. Just thank everybody for such a great year that they put in. Hard to believe it is over. I mean, it just feels like it'll be August before we know it.
That's right.
But we know that our teachers do take care of our kids along with other people in the school building. So we do appreciate them. And last week was Teacher Appreciation. I never had the opportunity to go into the schools to say anything, but I do appreciate everyone that works in our school systems.
Absolutely. I think that
We all do.
that goes without saying. We know you guys are the heartbeat of what we do. So, anything else? Okay. Next, we have public comments, and I think it looks like Ms. Susan Centra has asked to speak.
Hi, how are you all?
Hi, how are you doing?
Can you all hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to say thank you for hearing me out tonight. I appreciate you all. And even in times when it may feel a little tense, I really do appreciate the work that you guys do. And I appreciate all of you all for coming out tonight, especially after KSA testing, because seriously, it's been a week. It's been a week, right? All of my friends here who are in the trenches, thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to be quick tonight. I promise. It's been a long night because this is pretty simple. Like I said before, according to what our district has reported to KDE, this is the numbers I have come from KDE. Every year since 2018, our Fund 1 balance has grown from 18 million to 51 million. And that's an increase of about 33 million in 7 years. What reported by KDE was 22% of our budget is now 52% of our budget. Again, what KDE has said. That's gone not like unused, but I understand their earmarks. We understand that. Madison County Schools is one of the largest employers in the county, but we are continually losing classified and certified staff to other positions in other districts because we haven't been able to stay competitive. Since 2018, inflation has grown by roughly 32% nationally, The average house price in our county has increased by over $100,000. And while the district has given some raises throughout the years, we have not been able to keep up with inflation and the cost of living. Those raises, while needed and very much appreciated, have not been enough for us to actually catch up or even feel it in our paychecks. We do not want to find ourselves in the situation that our neighbors to the north have. We also cannot ignore that we carry one of the highest Fund One balances in the state, only behind Jefferson and Boone County, which we are not comparable to at all. And while we understand that some of this money is our legally required contingency and some of this money is already committed and some earmarked for future projects, we are simply asking, how can we look at investing some of this back into our people? With such a large amount and the expertise of our finance department and their smart investing, how can we work towards using some of this money and the interest we make off of our investments towards recruitment and retention of our employees? There has to be a happy medium that can be reached to ensure that we remain strong financially while ensuring that we are properly reinvesting our taxpayers' money into attracting the best employees that we can. As you know, we are asking for a $5,000 increase across the board for our certified employees and $3 an hour for our classified. Those total, again, over $9 million annually. And while that feels like a lot and this number may feel not sustainable, let's consider a couple other things. Our Fund One balance has shown steady growth consistently over the years, even with fewer SEEK funding dollars and some other hits to our budget. Our Fund One still shows continual growth. We lowered taxes last year and are still collecting more in taxes due to the rise of the housing costs. And Madison County is the fastest growing county in the state, so this will only continue to increase. As the years move forward, we will continue to grow, our tax base will continue to increase, and you have my promise that KEA will continue to fight tooth and nail for increased SEEK funding for our schools. We have a great starting point for providing raises now to our employees, and we have the formula for continual growth in the future. So I ask, how can we work within our means together to move forward toward helping our folks out in this incredibly trying times? Gas prices are skyrocketing, as we all know. Going to the grocery store is just painful. Housing and utilities seem to be higher each month. In a time when our teachers and support professionals must deal with more and more complicated situations at work regarding student behaviors, mental health issues, increasing demands from our state requirements, intensive workloads, and so much more, taking a concerted effort to invest in these educators is much needed. We appreciate the efforts this board has made to increase salaries over the years, and we are asking for that continued support now. Times are tough and we all feel it. Let's figure out how we can utilize this $51 million to recruit and retain the most talented employees for our district so that we can continue to be on fire for the future together. And I do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
We certainly appreciate everything you all do. And thank you so much, Ms. Centra, for advocating and, give us some things to think about here.
Yeah, Susan, I appreciate that. We are very transparent with each other. Sometimes more than we should, but the communication between the two of us has been really good, and it will continue to be. So we'll.
I forgot to say thank you for the pay schedule. I appreciate that.
No problem.
We worked on that.
Well, the survey showed the board wanted that, and so yes, yeah, absolutely. So thank you.
Thank all of you all. Okay, anybody else? All right, so now we need to enter into executive session required by state law for the preliminary discussion of the superintendent's evaluation for KRS 156.55716C.
I'll make the motion to go into executive session.
Motion by Ms. Berger. Do we have a second? Second. Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're in executive session. Thank you all for coming so very much. Okay, we are out of executive session.
Well, we have to vote.
Uh,
I'll make a motion to
make
come
a
out of
motion to come
executive
out.
session.
It's late,
We're
sorry.
ready to go.
Okay, so we do have some action from our executive session. We have just completed the superintendent's evaluation for Mr. Randy Neely for the 25-26 school year. We are required to evaluate him in the following areas: strategic, instructional, cultural, human resources, managerial, collaborative, and influential leadership. In addition, each year, the superintendent presents to us 3 goals for the coming year, and we are required to also evaluate and score those goals. We are required to evaluate each standard that I just read on a scale of 1 to 4, with 1 being needs improvement and 4 being exemplary, exceeds the standard. I am happy to report that Mr. Neely received exemplary, exceeding the standard, and all 7 standards, as well as his goals. Do we have any comments or discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. May I have a motion to approve the superintendent's evaluation as presented?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Brock, second by Ms. Coyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rutherford,
Second.
second by Ms. Burford. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
See y'all.
Thank you.
Bye, Brandon. See you later.
Put out that fire.
Go put out the